Hi, and welcome to another weekly recap. Today I'm going to recap week 4 of March 2025, and this is the final week of March. So, after which you can expect a monthly review. Talking about this week, so we had two solid trades, but I was not able to take those trades because of some personal reasons. But those two trades played out, and they got they would have got me a profit of 2.6 2.5 into 2, which is 5R. And there is also a losing trade, and obviously, me the whenever I trade and the losing trades coincide, so that's why I got a loser. So yeah, let's see what happened on this week and what were the two trades that I missed. And let's also talk about the losing trade, why I took the trade, and why it was a loser, and how I also managed the risk to not completely lose -1 hour. So let's talk about each and every aspect of this week. So starting off with March 24. So March 24, we were having abundance of news right from 9:30 till 7. So there were news all around. So which means like price can be super volatile, and there could be formation of POIs, and price may respect that POI, and sometimes we may also get some trades. So it's an interesting day also, as it can be also a trap day where liquidity can be generated by taking out buy side liquidities and sell side liquidities. So yeah, so a daily boss bullish. Yes, last week we predicted that okay, once the chalk bearish was confirmed, so we can expect the price to continue to push down till the price takes out this daily demand zone. So shorts was high probability for me, so I was aggressively looking for sells this week, which actually played out quite well. So coming to H4, here you can see the H4 as internal. The internal structure of H4 is bearish, and this is a very good POI. I know this is unmitigated POI at the top, but if the price keeps pushing down, so we may not expect such a deep pullback. A short pullback and then push down is most likely event than an big pullback. So why I'm stressing on this is, if the price needs to make that book a big pullback, then it needs to shift the market structure. So in some cases, shifting the market structure takes enormous amount of money. It's not an easy task. So a quick pullback into the recent supply with an inducement and then push down. So that would be the most ideal case for the continuation of the trend. So coming into H1, so this is the refined H4 POI, and you can see the price at chalk bearish right here, which means the fractal structure is bearish, and I can look to trade along with the bearish structure. And price has formed a kind of low resistance liquidity here, so which can be also taken out. And this low is now weak. So why it's weak? Because it's a weak internal low. So it's a weak internal low, and the fractal structure is bearish, and this is a good POI because it has swept liquidity and it has turned off. And it has also got an inducement just below. If that's not an inducement, you can call this as an inducement. So if the price takes this inducement, we can expect the price to push down. And yeah, actually, I wanted to get involved actually, I don't want to get involved directly because uh, this POI was formed last week, so I don't want to get involved directly. So the plan was to wait for the price to chalk bearish and then look for sells. Simple. So yeah, this was the liquidity sweep, and price invalidated this POI. So this POI got invalidated. So I can now expect the price to push up to make take out some buy side liquidity above, and also mitigate this extreme supply. So that's an possible event for me to expect. So now I can look for longs. So what's a good POI? So this is a valid POI. So where I can look for buys. So once the price enters into this POI, then I can jump into M15 and search for entries. But unfortunately, price kept moving up and it reached the EQ of the swing structure, and it has also took out some buy sell. Yeah, it also took out some buy sell liquidity. So it was actually 10:30. So I can expect the price to push further up, but since the price has already reached equilibrium and took buy sell liquidity, so longs would be pretty medium probability. So I can just look for price to chalk bearish. So this would be in line with the swing structure, and this low becomes weak, and this is more high probability trade. So at 10:33, I was no longer interested in longs. I was waiting for the price to chalk bearish to look for sells. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, this was the end of the session. I think on this day I missed a trade probably. Yeah. On Monday I missed a trade. So it's very horrible to miss a trade in the start of the week, and the day start at the start of the week will set the momentum. So yeah, it's very horrible. So yeah, price swept this buy sell liquidity, and it did not. This is not an actual chalk bearish, but since it took out this low, so you can imagine how this candle would have been formed in the M15. So it swept the low and pushed up, which means this is a stronger low. When this strong low is being taken out, so we can expect that bearish momentum to continue. So that's kind of expectation. So this was my POI, and price. If this demand gets flipped, if this demand gets flipped, then uh, actually this demand will be get flipped. Why? Because there is a chalk bearish, so the swing structure, so the fractal structure is in line with the swing structure, which means this low is now weak, and now we can look for shorts to target this week. So the concept is very simple. So did the entry model play out? Perfectly, it played out. Here is the lid. No price push down, pushed back up, and it took out the lid right here. Yeah, this is the lid. Yeah, price took out the lid perfectly. And then if I had placed my trade right here, this would have been a beautiful 2.5. Yeah. So that's the LC one that I missed. So this actually happened late during the New York session. Around 2 o'clock, something like that. So I missed this trade. I was traveling at this point of time. So it is what it is. Like I can't blame the market. No, I can't blame my personal life too. So that's the a drawback of being a part-time trader. So if you are a full-time trader, you can set your boundaries, and you can you know adjust. You can restrict other activities. But if you are a part-time trader and other professional activities supports your trading, then you must focus mainly on that professional activity, because trading is still underdeveloped, still fragile, and still yet to mature. So yeah, this is what it is to be a part-time trader. But I won't suggest you to trade full time, because that you will be much ambitious and take FOMO and FOL trades. So I don't want you guys to fall in those traps. So i- uh, actually, I'm trading with chill. I'm not with cool. I'm not trading with ambitious mind, because I'm already having a plan B in my hand, which is my professional experience. This is be just throwing some stones into the river, just being consistent. So one day I'm definitely know that this will play out, but I'm not in an urge. So that's the key thing for trading. Trading is all about patience and consistency. So there is no need for me to become there is no need for urgency in my case. So I'm just trading in a chill fashion. So this is March 25. So what happened on this day? So yeah, I lost a trade on this day. So let's see what happened on this day and why I lost trade on this day. So, coming to the daily structure, it is very similar to what we saw yesterday. So, nothing much, only this supply is contraspected, which means this low becomes weak and I can target this low. And coming to the 4-hour structure, the same thing, weak low, and here is the POI. So, I can expect the price to mitigate this one and push down, and I can look to target this weak low. But I must also keep in mind that, there is an unmitigated POI above. So all these can be inducements for this POI. So that's a rare scenario, but it can happen. So coming to H1, so this is the H4 POI that we were talking about, and price formed nice equal highs, relative equal highs. So if the price formed something like this, then I would be very much happy to look for shorts targeting the weak internal low. So yeah, here I mentioned looking for chalk bearish. So let's see whether I took uh, trade after the price chalked bearish or I took directly with M15. At 12:57, price formed some kind of low resistance liquidity, and these three combined will form a trend line liquidity. So yeah, very much there is a lot of liquidity pool to be targeted. So it's obvious that the price is going to come down. So what will you do? When seeing these kind of price action, this POI is high probability. Why? Because it swept liquidity, it has inducement. Sorry, it swept liquidity, it has displacement, and it has also got inducement. Fair enough. And this is also in premium, and below there is some sell side liquidity to be targeted. So obviously, what will you do? Will you wait for price to chalk bearish? Well, I did not wait for the price to chalk bearish. So there was also a perfect LC2 that played out, fake break, and price took out the liquidity. So liquidity was generated, price took that liquidity. So what else the price will wait for? Just push down, right? But there is one caveat. There is a strong bullish structure. So this could be a slight pause and then price can push further up. So suppose if there is no major displacement down, I would not be tagged in. Suppose if there is displacement, then I would be tagged in and tagged out if this bullish run continues. But we know this is just from the M15 point of view. But from the 4-hour daily as well as the H1 perspective, price is going to come down. So nothing to worry about this bullish structure. And at the end of the session, this price took the pullback inducement and I placed my trade. It came down. I think this was the 61.8 level. If the price reached that level, I would have been break even, but price did not reach that level. It came down and started to push up. But the fair thing is, um, tomorrow you will see that the price actually came down on took out the sell side liquidity. The trade actually played out, but it played out late and used my stop as liquidity. So yeah, it is what it is. So more often or not, we become liquidity to the market. So we must accept that fact. So March 26. What happened on March 26? There is actually no trades on March 26. So from the daily, there is nothing. Price didn't still take out this low. This supply is still holding. So from the 4-hour perspective, price mitigated the high probability PUI and it has also chalk bearish, which means now the shorts become much more high probability because now we are having a chalk bearish in 4-hour chart, and apart from this PUI, we are having a fresh supply from which I can look for trades directly using the M15. And there is also there is also resting liquidity on the opposing side. So now shorts become very much high probability. So how I can look for shorts? So here is the PUI where from which I can directly enter, but there is some kind of liquidity. If the price takes out this liquidity and chalks bearish, then I would be happy to look for trades from this POI itself. It doesn't mean I need to enter trades only from this POI. I can enter trades if there is a bearish sweep zone formed. So the plan is very simple. So let's see what happened on this day. And price came down and took all the sell side liquidity below. So yeah, it is what it is. But it price kind of left some buy side liquidity above. So this POI is definitely not valid because it's a straight push down and it has kind of equal highs above. Definitely no price will flip this one and mitigate into this extreme, and probably if the swing structure is going to continue, then we can expect a chalk bearish, and then price can push down. So that's a different story. But it's still 10:35, so we got some time left. So let's see what happened later on this day. So price continued to push down. So once the H1 swing structure in H1 was bearish, I can continue to look for sells until and unless I see a strong shift up, something like this. So then I will be looking for longs following this internal structure till the price reaches the premium prices. So for now, sells would be valid for me. And also price did not take out, close below this low. So this means I can't call this as a strong high. So for me, this high, somewhere here is still my strong high. So I can look for trades from this POI. So let's see what happened on this day. Yeah, I didn't record this one. I just recorded this just now. So what happened? This was the POI from which I can look for trade, valid POI. So when the price closed below, this was used as a lid, and price can push down. So I'll show you what happened exactly on M15. So price pushed down, pushed up, and there was no lid. So price pushed down to 61.8 level. So this was the candle, and sorry, this candle stop loss, sell stop here, but this candle high was broken by this candle. So sell stop below, and then one stop displacement buffer and one stop loss buffer, and 2.5 R, but the 2 points, the 0.68 level was just here. So obviously the price would have been a break even trade. So yeah, after swing was bearish, so we can expect the price to present a swing pullback. So that's what actually happened. So yeah, that was, you can call that as a missed trade, but even if that was a missed trade, it was no use of, because it was a break even trade, right? So nothing much on that day. So 27th of March, I actually missed a trade again. So let's see what happened on this day. So from the daily perspective, finally the price took out the low and the formation of new supply is right here. So I can expect the price to continue this supply and then do a complex pullback. So because of these huge displacement gaps, the price often forms a complex pullback. From the H4 perspective, H4S was bearish, and this is a good POI because it's present in the premium of the internal range. So I can look for trades from this POI, but there is a caveat, is that there is a relative equalize and there is this unmitigated POI. So price may push up, liquidate all the buy sell liquidity, tap into this POI and then push down. So in that case, I would call this as an H4 boss bearish, swing boss bearish, if that happens. So from the H1 perspective, I will not be taking trades directly from this POI, especially with the equal highs above, because this POI can anytime fail. So the safer option would be to wait for the H1 to chalk bearish. So the swing structure and the internal would be aligned. Then this low would be weak and I can look for shorts. And also one more thing is that this low was not formed. There is no, uh, this is formed via sweep of liquidity. So this low is not a weak low. Suppose if that low was formed something like this, you know, something like this, then that would have been a weak low. So something like this. So suppose this high was formed something like this. So swept liquidity pushed down. So this would have been a strong high. But it did not sweep liquidity, so it has some buy side liquidity above. But in this case, this low is very strong because it swept liquidity and rallied up. So most probably, there is a most probable that this POI would be taken out and this buy side liquidity would be probably taken out. But I'm not sure, because if the price needs to take out this buy side liquidity, then it must was bearish first. So that's a bit complicated analysis, but let's stick to the price action and play according to it. Yeah. The moment price flipped this supply, I knew that the price is going to take out the buy sell liquidity, because this is a valid supply, but this is just above the equal highs. So I'm not interested in looking for sells from this POI. So yeah, and once now actually price took out both the POIs within a single candle. So this was a valid POI from which I can look for shorts. So this again happened when I was traveling, and perfect LC1 price mitigated, and boom, 3.5 hour clean winner. It was very much heartbreaking when I parked my bike and opened my laptop and saw the price played out perfectly. So it was very much heartbreaking. But yeah, it is what it is. Like my the just take the positives from this one. My analysis is playing out. You know, if I transition into a full time trader, then I can grab these profits and I can be a profitable trader. So yeah, transitioning into a full time trader takes some time because there should be a coincidence between a winner trade and my time at the desk. So you know in a year, I mean, in a month, we just get, 2 to 3 trades, 2 to 3, I mean, 5 trades, and out of 5 trades, we'll be getting, 2 to 3 winning trades. And out of those 2 to 3 winning trades, then I must be sitting in front of the desk. So there is a lot of, variables that comes up when you are a part-time trader and when you trade live. So when you backtest, you'll always get plenty of trades in a particular month. So this is the EOD. As expected, price took the buy side liquidity and it did not mitigate the POI, but still, this is, price does not mitigate the POIs. Price just sweeps liquidity. So these POIs we mark because to time our entries. And this is the 4 hour, 1 hour chart. Okay, this is the 4 hour chart, and this is the 1 hour chart. You can see the price swept the buy side liquidity, but it did not close above. So all I can do is wait for the price to chalk bearish, which means that the price used the swing high liquidity to push down to take out this strong low. So that's what I can assume. So coming to March 28th, Friday. So here I did not have any trades because I just finished the session. So I just show you there is no trades on this day. So this low is still weak. Price mitigate. This supply is still holding. There's nothing much from the daily, and price of the buy sell liquidity. So all I need is some kind of internal shift. Then I can look for shorts targeting the weak internal low, and there is also there is also daily demand which I'm expecting the price to mitigate. But before that, there is also some 4 hour demand which I found. I was not able to cover it, but there was a 4 hour demand which the price can mitigate and then give some reactions. So yeah, coming to the H1, the swing structure is bearish, and to play looking for shorts after the price takes out this. I mean, after the price makes the chalk bearish is valid, but I can look for shorts expecting the price to chalk bearish. So for that, I'll use the internal structure of the H1. So suppose if the price does something like this, takes out the buy side liquidity and pushes down, then this would be a fresh supply. Then I can look for shorts expecting the price to chalk bearish. So that can happen. Or there is also a case too, which might happen. Price might want to mitigate the extreme supply, so we can expect kind of price to flip this supply and then push up, which means this could be a fresh POI. Then I can look for longs. This would be basically playing the pro internal. That's it. So if the price chalks bullish, then this high becomes weak. Then I can look to target this high. So that's what I just marked at this point of time. So what happened actually? Price swept the buy side liquidity and then chalk bearish. So I was interested in looking for sells from this POI, but no entry model played out. No, it believe me, there is no entry model played out. I didn't hide anything. So the price just rallied up, and it kind of again consolidated. So price did not take out this high. So it just formed an equal highs, which means a buy sell liquidity again. And yeah, actually price went up after sweeping the sell side liquidity. So probably this move can be a big one. Price can mitigate into the SPY and target the buy side liquidity. So which might happen next week, something like that. So yeah, that's it from this week. So I just lost one trade and I did not take two other trades. So yeah, hoping that next week I get some trades and I would be present on the desk when the opportunity appears. So yeah, that's it from my side. Cheers, guys! All the and congratulations for the people who took profits. And yeah, keep the momentum going. Thank you, guys. See you on the next weekly analysis. Until then, cheers, guys. Bye.